Help me to believe. Oh, no weapon formed against me, no, it won't ever prosper. I wanna tell the enemy it won't work. Oh, no weapon formed against me, no, it won't ever prosper. 'Cause I have a Father. I really do, I really do. Yeah. Come on, let's sing it. Say you're a mighty warrior. You're a mighty warrior. You break the lines. You break the lines over my life. There is freedom. You are my protector. Hallelujah. Hey, yes, you're a safe place with a Jesus. Jesus. Come on, it's easy. No weapon formed against me. No, it won't. I wanna tell the enemy. Come on. No weapon formed against me. No, it won't. Here's why. 'Cause I have a Father. Come on, y'all, let's speak the truth. I have a Father who loves me just the way I am. I have a Father who sees me and leads me by His hand. Even the trauma couldn't stop the plans you have for me. I know the healing is more than a feeling. Come on, sing the truth. I have a Father who loves me just the Come on. I have a Father who sees me and leads me. Even the trauma couldn't stop the plans. I know you're healer. It's more than a feeling. Help me. One more time, come on. I have a Father. Who sees me and leads me. Even the trauma couldn't stop the Come on, let's sing it. No weapon formed against me. Tell 'em. Here's why. I know it doesn't feel like it, but I have a Father. I know it doesn't seem like it. I have a Father. I know sometimes you may feel rejected, but you have a Father. I have a Father who loves me just the way I am. I have a Father who sees me. And this is the truth. Even the trauma couldn't stop. No, plans you have for me. I know you're healing. It's more than a feeling. Help me to believe. Even the trauma. Even the pain and rejection, the abandonment, the abuse, yes, even the trauma couldn't stop the plans you had. No weapon formed against me. I wanna tell the enemy. Tell him, tell him.
Good night, everyone. Welcome to Heart of the Matter. I am your host tonight. This is not Javel, it's Ramesh Livermore, and I'll be your host tonight. And before we get started, I just want to ask you, how's everybody doing? Are you okay? Have you been having a good week? You know, my week has been quite interesting. I wouldn't say it has been. It's had its ups and downs. But I am thankful that I am here today. I'm thankful that I have life. I'm thankful that I am able to share with you tonight. There was a point in the evening I thought I wasn't going to make it, but by God's grace, I am here tonight. And so I'm happy to be here with you. So I hope everybody's doing okay. If you're not doing okay tonight, just relax, enjoy this show, and I promise you at the end you're going to be feeling much better than you were when you started. But yeah, tonight is a special night. Tonight, you know, as per usual, as we do every year, we are leading up to Father's Day, which is this Sunday coming. And we usually like to leave a word of encouragement and some little nuggets with our men. Those who are fathers, those who aspire to be fathers, those who are fathers in the making. Maybe you don't know it yet, but you're a father in the making. And so we just want to share with you tonight. And speaking to the men, how's the World Cup been so far? We've had basically a week now since the World Cup started. We've had quite a few games. Well, for me, my team is not at the World Cup. My team is Italy. I've been supporting Italy since 2006. That's not the first time I watched a World Cup, but when I was old enough to be into the sport and understand, I was supporting Italy, so I had the privilege. I still remember it now. I was a teenager at the time though, but I remember when Italy won the World Cup in 2006. It was a penalty shootout. That same incident when Zidane headbutted the defender Materazzi from Italy. And yeah, that was a very good memory for me. Italy also won the Euros. That was in 2021. I remember that one clearly. So I have some good football memories of a team that I support. Those of you who know me know that in club football, my team, at least in England, is Manchester United. In Italy, it's AC Milan. And so I've had the privilege of witnessing those clubs win as well. Some fans don't get the chance to say that, so I have to boast. Arsenal fans, after 22 years, and finally get to celebrate something. So, hats off to you. But yeah, the World Cup has been interesting so far. I've enjoyed it. I didn't know if it was going to be good. I was a little skeptical of them expanding it to 48 teams, but I say, no, let me give it a try. Because it gives other countries who wouldn't normally qualify the chance to be there to represent. Because I firmly believe, football is not just about people winning, but this is a sport that brings everybody together. Those of you who watch football, you're around people watching football. Yes, there is the bad side of it, people get into fights and people bet on them, lose their money and all sort of stuff. But football generally brings people together, and especially we, Jamaica as a country, we do have a large population who love the sport. Everywhere you go, every little community you go into, you see boys playing football. They would use the stones as goalposts, and you just need a ball really to kick around. You don't have to be a real footballer. You just need something you can kick, and you can play football. So it's one of the easiest sports to play. Doesn't require lots of money and resources. Just to play, not professional, just to play. Doesn't require much, and it brings people together. The World Cup tends to bring people together. People from all over. You come and you watch the games together. And so yeah, it's the most watched sports in the world. And it's so unfortunate. I was really hoping that Jamaica would make this World Cup. I was really hoping for it because the last time we went there was the only time actually was 1998. I was really young. I barely remember us playing. So I really wanted a chance to see, but it's just unfortunate because the three host nations are from this side of the world, this CONCACAF that we're a part of, and even with the three of them qualifying, there were more spots opened up because of the 48 teams, and we still never qualify. So, that was really disappointing for me because I watched the games and I was cheering on. I was hoping. I'm like, yes, I'm starting to dream now. I'm starting to believe. And when we hit those final two games of qualifying, the one where we draw with Trinidad, that was where we lost it, And then that final game against Curacao. I mean, we never make it. But I mean, we have to move on. And that's the thing about sports too. When you become invested, you emotionally invested it really, when you don't get the result that you want, it can really drive you over the edge. And there's so many things that have happened. You have men who have committed suicide because their team lost. And I'm talking like the World Cup. I haven't heard of it in recent times, but in past times, especially people from football countries like Brazil, Argentina, they take it so serious. They burn on people's homes, commit suicide, all sorts of stuff happen. But we hope that that doesn't happen this World Cup. We hope this World Cup, even when your favorite team loses, you can be gracious in defeat. The important thing is that football brings us together. It's a sport that unifies, and it's a sport that speaks a universal language. Because every person, man, woman, boy, girl, young, old, doesn't matter who you are, football is a sport that can bring you together, and it brings love and unity. But yeah, so that's been my week so far, and my wife understands it. The games are like four games per day. I think there's even one going on right now. And so it takes into the wee hours of the night. I think she understands that this month is just my month. So I am glued into the games when I get a chance to see them. So yeah, I just enjoy it. It's once every 4 years. So the next World Cup you're 4 years older. So when you get the chance, you enjoy it and you take it in if you really love the sport. But my favorite two sports are football and track and field. Athletics. So whenever those times come around, I am glued in. You can't really get my attention like that. But yeah, so I just was touching on football a bit. That is something that bring men together. And so this Father's Day will be interesting because I know most of the men will want to be watching the games. I should have checked before I come who is playing on Sunday. Because if it's any of the well supported teams, so the men are going to be watching on a Sunday. So hint, hint, you want to spend some time with dad, taking one of the games with him. That's a good way to spend time with dad on a Father's Day. You're going to do other things, but just ensure that you have that as well. But tonight, I just wanted to share some nuggets with you guys. For those of you who are listening, you can tune in on www.presenceradio.com, or you can visit us on Facebook, Presence Radio on Facebook. And we also have the app on Google Play Store that is Presence Radio. And so feel free to share with someone who you believe would like to hear tonight. And we also have a rebroadcast that is on Fridays as well. I believe it's at 1 p.m. But yeah, just tune in. You can look at the schedule. The schedule is available on the website. And you will see when we are airing live or on rebroadcast. So tonight I wanted to share a few things. I have labeled this as 10 things the Bible tells us about being a father. So 10 things the Bible tells us about being a father. Because the thing is, fatherhood is a journey. It's not something You can go to school and learn. It's not something where, like, yes, information is passed down, so you can learn it from your father and father before. But really and truly, it's a journey, and the experience of each father varies because the child or the person you have responsibility over, it differs because we're people. People have different personalities, people have different needs, wants at various times. And so what you may be required to give or to provide in that moment in time, not every father will experience them all at the same time. So I always believe that, just being a parent in general, but we're focusing on fathers tonight. It is really tailored specifically to the child that you're dealing with or the person that you're dealing with. So there's no one size fits all when it comes on to being a father, but there are some general principles I believe that God has communicated to us through His Word that we can take, that we can use in our journeys as fathers. And I believe as a father, you never stop learning. So even if you are a young father with a young child, or if you are a more experienced father who has had many years raising your child and they're now adults, you never stop learning because your child continues to grow. Life continues to throw various challenges, and you encounter so many different scenarios that you will not have all the knowledge in the world to deal with each of these things that come. And so you have to keep learning. You have to keep relying on the Lord to lead you as you lead them. And I believe that you never stop becoming a father as long as your child is here around. You're never stop being a father. So if you're a young father, might be not necessarily young in age, but young in terms of when you started that journey. So when you're young, yes, your child relies on you more, and there's so much more you have to learn. There's so much more you have to do. You have to think about. You have to make provisions for. But even when you're much older and the child is much older, they still need you. Don't ever believe that your children stop needing you. They always need you. They always rely on you. And even when they think they don't, you, as the one who have been there with the wisdom, know that there will be a time when they need you. So you have to continue learning, you have to continue being prepared so that when they do need you, you are there and you're able to be there for them in a very meaningful way. So the first thing I wanted to share with you, right, is that you should be your child's primary teacher. So dads, you should be your child's primary teacher. You should be the first teacher from the moment they're born, right? You and mommy, but you, dad, should be the first one that your child learns from. Everything that they know, everything you want them to know, should start from you. Yes, school is there. Yes, the village is there. Yes, relatives are there, but it starts with you. Do not pass on that responsibility to others. I'm giving a brief quote here from Proverbs 22. It's verse 6. And we know it, many of us know it. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. Or some versions say he will not depart from it. The book of Proverbs is actually a father speaking to his son. He's passing on instructions. Okay, this is a wise father passing on instructions to his son. And he's leaving with him all the nuggets and treasures that God has shared with him, that has placed on his heart. And he's sharing it with his son. And so you have to be a primary teacher. If you look at the world now, we live in what many dub as the information age. So it's easy to get information, it's easy to get knowledge, right? So Even when you are not teaching your child is still learning. But for me, what is scary is where are they learning from? Because as humans, we never stop learning and we always want to learn. There's always a desire to know. And so if you're a parent, you're gonna take the approach, well, I'm not no time for that and life busy and I can't do this and I can't. No. If you don't do it, someone else will. And that's not a question, that's a statement. Someone else will teach them. So who do you want them to learn from? You want them to learn from you, or do you want them to learn from somebody else and you don't know where the information is coming from? You start to see them acting out in certain ways. You start to see them adopting certain beliefs, certain convictions, and you see the behaviors changing, and you're wondering, where is that coming from? And this is whether they're young children or they're teenagers. They're learning from somewhere. Now, normally what we see is that as parents, we say, oh, we send them to school, so they must learn at school. But school is not adequate. And the purpose of school, and I won't knock schools here, the purpose of school is not to teach your child everything there is to learn about life. Schools have a curriculum, and yes, schools try to be holistic. But when it comes on to life lessons, when it comes on to behaviors, when it comes on to beliefs, when it comes on to how you must behave in society, it's not school that teach you that. It should come from the home. And fathers, you have been tasked with the responsibility by God to teach your children. Do not run from that responsibility. You know what is scary right now? Is that one of the primary teachers in this day and age is artificial intelligence. You wonder, what is Ramesh talking about? AI is not teaching my child. What are you talking about? Oh, believe it or not, AI is teaching your child. When you simply turn on your phone and you go on Google, not Google, you go on YouTube, you don't believe it's AI working in the background. When they go on Instagram, when they go on TikTok, AI is teaching your child. Because it is artificial intelligence that is actually showing your child. It's artificial intelligence that's actually showing your child what they think it wants to or needs to see. I have tested this out, and many times I will just start talking about a random subject and I go on social media, I go on TikTok. If I say Mercedes Benz and I go on TikTok, I start seeing lots of posts with Mercedes Benz on it. Oh, clearly there's something going on behind the scenes. All right, I don't need to spell it out. There's something going on. So imagine your child now, and you might think you're safe. You're safe from this with YouTube Kids. Oh no, AI is in the background. It's operating YouTube Kids because they go on YouTube Kids, and you look and you see the things that they're seeing and what it's showing them. And trust me, if you're not keeping an eye on them, they are being exposed to a lot of things that you probably wouldn't want them to be exposed to. And I'm talking young children. As they get older, it's even worse. Yes, as they get older, they should be more responsible, but you still have to keep an eye on them. And that is why it comes back here. If you are the primary teacher, if you are the primary source of information, you know what that does with you and between you and your child? It builds confidence that they know, okay, if I want to know something, I can go and ask daddy. Daddy can guide me. Right? Daddy might not have the answer to everything, but daddy is someone who I see as a pillar in my life, who, if I want to verify something, if I want to lean on, if I want to get information about something, I know daddy can lead me in the right direction. I know daddy can get that information and give it to me, and I trust that what daddy is sharing with me is something that It's true, verifiable, and yes, it will help me to grow. And so be that primary source. Be that primary teacher. Everything else is secondary. So that's I spend so much time on this because I believe so much in that. That when it comes down to learning, ensure that you are the one who's first teaching your child. All right, I have some more to share, but before we get there, I want us to take a little break. We'll listen to this song "Goodness of God" by Christopher Martin, and when we return, I'm going to share some more nuggets with you. So listen up and enjoy.
Yes, God is good. Yes, man. Yes, He is good. Yeah, and just want to thank you so much for doing it. Yeah.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my day I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. Yes, every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I love your voice. Close like no other. You know I've known you as a father. You know I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Oh, yeah. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good and so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Ooh, yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything, oh Lord. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Come and go sing
Full
it
thing,
again.
you know. Wake me up in the morning.
Oh, na, na,
And my dad said, no, me can't say God great and good.
running me down. Oh, your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Oh, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Oh, all my life you have been faithful. All my life you've been faithful to me. All my life you have been so, so, so good to me, Lord. Every breath that I am, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I sing for you, Jesus. You know I sing for you, Lord.
Yes, yes, yes. Your goodness is running after me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Yes, so as we continue, so first we were talking about fathers, you should be your child's primary teacher. The next thing I want to say is that you should be your child's role model. Be their role model. And there's so many passages we can look at. So I'm just going to share a few with you. 1 Timothy 4, verse 12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. In everything, set them an example by doing what is good. In your teaching, show integrity, seriousness, and soundness of speech that cannot be condemned. I love this one. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And it speaks of the Lord's work. One generation commends your works to another. They tell of your mighty acts. Psalm 145 verse 4. I love that one especially because as men, we want to leave a legacy. We like to talk about our seed and our legacy. Leave a legacy. But how are you going to leave a legacy? You have to be doing good work. Something that the next generation can look back on and say, oh, my grandfather was so and so. My grandfather did this. Or our family is where it is because of what my grandfather did. You hear so many success stories from successful families, and you hear, oh, our great grandfather was so and so. He made that sacrifice, and this is why we are where we are. That's a man with a vision. And that's the type of father you want to be. You want to set a foundation. How are you going to do that? You have to do good works, things that the generation after will want to follow. That they can, what you don't want is to leave a legacy and a story behind. That when those after you come, they look and they say, boy, my grandfather, I never did so 100 enough. Him think the kind of shaky, but I'm not gonna do like him. You don't want to be an example, but in a bad way of what not to do or who not to be. But you want to be an example of someone who you did something that others want to follow. They saw the blueprint. They are benefiting from what you have done and they want to continue that work. That's important. And so we're talking about being a role model. Now people have so many role models. But you know, it is such a beauty and a joy when you can hear your child or you just hear anyone say, oh, my dad is my role model. Or as young children would say, that is my superhero. Our words, our conduct, our life should be like a living expression of the gospel. What am I saying? How you live, it is coming from somewhere. It's coming from a source. What fuels you on a daily basis? What drives you to do the things you do? What drives you to get up every morning and live and to work and to share and to be a good person and to just live a life that is pleasing to God? What motivates you when you live each day, when you have completed your day and you look back on your day? Has your day been a living expression of the gospel? Does your life define what the gospel is all about? Does it define love? Unconditional love, that is. Does it define sacrifice? Does it define determination? Does it define honesty? Does it define faith? Unwavering commitment? Does it, the gospel is, there's so many words that describe the gospel. And I can find so many other words. But does your life signify, does it reflect that truth? Now, I'm hammering in on it because I just want to open our minds to the fact that what we do is so important. What we say, how we say it, how we deal with others, our children look on. And they may not come to you and say anything, but it doesn't mean they're not looking. And best believe, some of the simplest things, especially if our children look up to us, the simplest things we do can have a profound impact on them. When I think of my own journey as a father and my children, I have young boys. And I can tell you that if I am having a bad day and they witness me having a bad day, it reflects, it rubs off on them. They also take that on. If, for example, they did something but I reacted in a way that was harsh, it messes up their entire day. And it may cause them to act out on others. So, for example, if I get angry at one of the boys, they can't take it out on me because, me being their father and that authority figure. What they do is take it out on the other sibling who they believe they can do that to without consequence. And so you see them start bickering, they start fighting, and there's just this negative energy between them. And you wonder, where is that coming from? It's coming from the fact that daddy dealt with them harshly and never balanced it out, and afterwards let them know, hey, I was angry at you, but I don't hate you, I still love you. For them, hearing those words are so important. And so when they don't hear those words, it has a profound impact on them. That's just one example, but how we behave, can have an impact on others. So we want to be mindful of that. And as role models, we just need to remember that our children, again, if we are their primary teacher, if we're their first teacher, then chances are we'll be their first role model as well. So it works hand in hand. So when we model good behavior, when we are growing and we're growing towards being more Christ-like, there's a greater chance our children will also be going in the same direction. And of course, it also helps that if you are their role model, then it is also easier to teach them. It's easier to lead them. It's easier to guide them because they look up to you. They aspire to emulate you. You don't want them to be just like you. Of course, you want them to be like Christ. Follow me as I follow Christ. But it makes it easier to impart on them. So I think that's very important. The next thing I wanted to share, and most of us know this, and I deliberately did not start with this because that's usually what we hear first. But of course, it is that fathers must provide for their family. And I'm going to quote from 1 Timothy 5, verse 8. And it reads, sorry, 1 Timothy 5, verse 8 says, if anyone does not provide for his relatives, especially for his immediate family, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. And a lot of time that passage is quoted, and I can admit, growing up, when I heard that passage, I didn't quite have the understanding I had now. Because it was always put in the context that, well, if you don't provide, then you're worse than an unbeliever. But they didn't really explain what's providing all of those things. You're thinking, oh, that means that if him don't put money in the house, he's worse than an unbeliever. What exactly does that mean? Well, simply put, and we don't have much time to go through it, but it's really a matter of neglect. So for those fathers who are thinking, oh, they might try to say, oh, I need for always have money, I'm gonna need for do this, I'm need for that. I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm really saying is don't neglect your family. Don't leave them hanging. So all that you do, all the work that you put in, ensure that your family come first. Especially your immediate, those you live with, your children, your partner. Ensure that they are taken care of first. Don't neglect them. Back in this time, there were some who neglected their families completely. They left them out there. And in that time, especially, men were the main breadwinners. And so if a man don't take care of his family, they would have been left to suffer. Because it wasn't like nowhere, it's government assistance and, in terms of the world of work, both genders have equal job opportunities and that. It wasn't like that. So especially if you were a woman with children and the man not providing for you, real and truly dog them a supper. And a lot of them were turning to the church. But the men were there. But the men were not providing. So that's what we call now being a deadbeat. You don't want to be a deadbeat. Take care of your children, even if they don't live with you. Ensure you take care of them. And I want to go further into that though, because it doesn't mean, no, we're living in tough times. We're living in tough economic times. And as things get harder, the things that we're able to do decreases. Now, this, we want to call it rebuke or warning. It's not for somebody who, for example, you have paid the bills and everything, but maybe a child need a new lunch kit or a shoes, but it's not completely gone in. I can still wear, but you really would have want to change it, but you never have the money to change it right away. That's not being a deadbeat, right? That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about providing for their needs. You won't. So in this day and age, we have to be smart with money, of course, and you might not be able to cover everything all at once, but it's to ensure that at least the basic necessities they have, and that they're as comfortable as possible. And so you do everything you can as a father to make that happen. And shout out to those out there who are trying, and there are those who probably want to but can't. You have a medical condition or something happened to you and you're physically unable to. Those who sympathize with you as well. That's not who the Bible is referring to. Right? It's referring to the deadbeats, the people who completely neglect their families. And so provision though, provision is more than even just material things. I like to expand the provision because there's so much more to it. I always use this scenario, right? Which one is better? The man who is able to take care of the basic needs. He's present, meaning he's home every night. He's there with his children. They can talk to him. They can spend time with him. But he's not rich. He not have it like that. There are things they will want and him can't get it for them. But he's there. And they have daddy. They can call on daddy when they need daddy. All right? In many other ways. Which one is better? That father or the other one? He doesn't live with you. But him have money, him send money, you can, mommy buy stuff for you, but you don't see him. Maybe he lives in another country, or maybe he has another family, but you don't have him. He's not present. You see him every now and then. And when you see him, it's probably other drama, another woman in the picture, or just other kids that he has to take care of. Or he's just someone who's very, very busy with work. They barely have any time for you. Holidays come, not every holiday you get to see him. Which father is better? Well, I leave that one to you. I'm not going to answer that question. I will leave it to you. You think about that. I know which father I would rather be. But I just want to say that provision goes far beyond, it extends far beyond just the money. You have not completed the job by simply just paying for stuff, by paying the school fee, by buying things for them. That's only a part of the job description. That's like 1/10 of the job description. We mentioned earlier being primary teacher, being a role model. That means you have to be there. You have to spend time. Find out how is their day. You know, and just to share another personal experience for me. And I must admit, I don't always do it, and I need to. But my boys have a habit where they want to talk about their day before they go to bed. Right? Sometimes the evenings it takes we come home late, but they want to talk. They just want to talk. And they just want to talk about any and everything. They talk about the day, they talk about what happened in class, they talk about what the teacher said, what they learned, and they just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And sometimes it's the end of the day. I really can't bother with the way for talking. I don't want to hear anything, but they want to talk. And what do you do in that moment? Do you not listen to them? Of course, you listen to them. And you let them talk and you let them express themselves. And for them, that is so important. They just want to bond. And so you spend time with them. Another thing too, they enjoy daddy picking them up from school. No, I don't do it every day. But if I'm doing it, I will tell them, I said, Daddy, we'll pick you up today. And I'll pick you up early. And I remember the school they were going before, the one they're at now. They literally would stand up at the gate and wait. I don't know, they just have this internal radar. They know when it is. I think that at that time it was 1 o'clock, school finish, yeah. When it was 1 o'clock and school about to finish, they start looking outside. Where's Daddy? And they're looking and they're looking and they're looking. If I come late, they're very disappointed. And my older son would say, Daddy, you said you came late today. You said you were going to come early. And he's disappointed. But when they see me, oh my gosh, they're running, literally running, and they jump. Daddy, 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 you came for me. And they're so happy. And for me, I'm like, okay, not that big of a deal, but to them, it means the world. It means the world just to see Daddy come and pick them up. And those are things we shouldn't take for granted. Just even coming home. If they're home, they're waiting for me. I have to remember that, okay, I don't want to stay too late because they're waiting for me. And they're literally waiting. And if it gets too late, they get disappointed. The worst thing you want is for them to fall asleep when you don't reach home. They want to see Daddy. And so dads, you have to be there for them. You have to provide your time, provide your love, your care, your compassion, everything. We've only covered 3 today, and time is running out on us. So we're definitely going to do a part 2 next week, because I think these nuggets are so important. It's not things we don't know, but things we need to remember. Life gets so busy. And so sometimes, we forget, we get caught up. But I just want to remind us that our children depend on us. And as fathers, no matter how young or old they are, they still need you. And don't give up on your children. So even if you don't have a good relationship with them, don't give up on them. Don't give up on that relationship. Because fatherhood is something that was gifted to you. There's some who want to be a father and they can't. I'm talking biologically, because you can be a father in many other ways. There's so many children who have been adopted by men. And I don't mean legal adoption. They take them on as their own. We know Jamaica have a jacket crisis. And there's so many men, even after finding out that the child is not theirs, they still take them and they treat them as if they were their very own flesh and blood. And those fathers, we want to big them up. Let's not forget them on Father's Day. And so as we approach Father's Day, I want us to remember that fatherhood is a journey. And if you feel like you're failing, just remember that God is with you. Turn to Him, look to Him, ask Him to guide you. Ask Him to impart wisdom on you, that you can be the best father you can be. It's not over. I always say, as long as you have breath in your body, then that is a day, that's an opportunity to improve, to right the wrongs, and to be the best father you can be. And so I want to wish you a happy Father's Day when it comes. And take care. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the football matches. And spend time with your family. And enjoy what the day has to offer. Happy Father's Day to our men. God bless you.